Lovely. Okay, I think this is recording. Yes, it is. Okay. So I wasn't planning on doing a recording tonight, and I'm still eating my dinner, but apparently I'm supposed to be talking about this because I'm sitting here watching what's happening, and I'm just like on so many levels. All right, so okay, sorry. I wish a really big piece of pineapple. And I don't like talking with my mouth full. Oh, I could have waited. I was almost done. Unless, did an animal come and eat my food? I was like, awesome. Okay. Sorry. Ariel. That's Ariel. Holy shit. All right, so here's what happened, and I'm sorry that who know I probably look like a ghost, but I don't want to have the light on because and this is all keeps this is crazy. Okay, so let's see if I can. All right, whatever. Where do I start? Okay, so I was out of cat food, and my friend, my new friend that is my neighbor, we ended up going what's called down the hill to San Bernardino to go buy some. I drove her car. First, she wasn't even going to go, and then she decided to go. She talked about going to Verizon, but then she's like, oh, we probably won't have time. And anyway, we ended up going down there, but we ended up going down there not only to that pet store, and it's a pet food store, and they sell some birds and fish and guinea pigs and reptiles. It was cool. So we were there for maybe like half hour, maybe like 20 minutes. And then after that, we went to it took maybe at least 10 minutes to find the Verizon store at the mall. And then we were there for at least an hour. Yeah. And then after that, we went to Big Lots. We weren't there that long, but we were there at least a half hour. And then it's a half-hour drive, like each way. So I was gone about 3.5 hours. And I left all the cats inside because it was already dark when I left, and they were all in, and I was like, oh, this is really cool because then that way I don't have to worry about some of them being out and cold, or hungry wasn't really a factor because they've all were starving already when I left, and had been for most of the day since there was no food. And I waited like as long as I could to ask her about it because I was waiting for somebody else to get back to me, but they never did. So, but anyway, they were all in, and which is typical if I, whatever, they're either in or out. I don't even really consider it. I kind of take inventory, and depending on like what's going on and how long I'm going to be gone and who's in and who's out and that sort of thing. But I don't leave a whole lot. So, especially at night for hours. I mean, it's really, really rare. Actually, I know most of the time. And as typical, I come in and the first ones I look for are my birds because I want to see where they're at and make sure they're okay. And yeah, I leave them out, and I leave them out with the cats. They really, the birds, there's never been an issue when I'm away from home. They're very protected. And I was basically told a while ago, because there was a time where if I was going to leave, they would go in their cage, and if I was going to be gone for, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, I would be like, okay, birds in the cage, because I don't want a tragedy. Obviously, I have 4 cats, a dog, and 2 birds, and they all share a very small space, but because they're doves and they require flight space, and there is no way for me to give them that unless they fly around my house. My trailer, I should say, and it's really small. It's a really small trailer. Anyway, we basically live in the bird cage, as you can see behind me right here. I've constructed, I can show you. I've constructed this little perch, and they all have to be pretty wide, and they have, there's the other side, and it goes all the way across, and there's the bird cage that they don't go into anymore, and it's basically a really cool like plant thing I got going on over there. Well, now I messed it up. Okay. So I come in. First, we drive up. I bring the bag of food, 15-pound bag of food, a thing of water, some candles, and what else was it? Oh, bag of tortilla chips. I was really craving tortilla chips last few days, like bad. That used to be a staple in my home, and I haven't had any for like at least 2 months. So, anyway, I bring it all inside my gate. First, I just left it out, and then she's like, no, take it all the way in. So, took it all the way in inside my gate. Went, dicked around with parking. So, I was trying to get it right, backing it in and whatever. And then helped her take her stuff in, talked for a couple of minutes, and then came home and then brought stuff in. And so I come in, I put the stuff down, and I look for the birds, and they're perched up above the TV, and that's where they've been wanting to sleep. If she has a heart, she only has one leg, so if she's kind of maybe has come down twice, because she does tend to fall frequently. That's another thing too, because she falls, but every time I come home, she's always perched. She's never down, ever, 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 ever. And did I mention that I've been told that they're protected, and I like totally believe it. So, but tonight was different. Because They're both up there perched, but he has like some blood on the side of his head, kind of close to his eye, and he's like closing his eye. But he's like, I'm okay, I'm okay. And I'm like, what the? God, it makes my head hurt. Oh. And then I start to like take inventory of the surround. Oh, first, let me mention this. Oh, I missed something completely. When I open up the door, all 4 of my cats at 11:44, all 4 of my cats are like bum rushing the door to get out. And I'm like, what the hell? They like literally run me over, like almost like take me out. I have 3 steps up to my door and they just barrel into me. I'm like, okay, that's really dramatic. I wasn't gone for 2 weeks. You weren't locked in here for like day after day. What the hell? So that happened first. I totally forgot about that. So of course when that happened, I'm like, what the hell's going on in here? Because normally they're like sleeping. At that time, like it's like 10:30 at night. Like they're usually like curling up to go to sleep by like at the latest 9 o'clock. 9:30, they're like, because so am I. Kinda, like, I mean, it's winding down. Let's put it that way. Ow. Like, they're doing what they're doing. They usually do like this. Look at it. Now they're settled. So I'm really surprised to get bum rushed by all my cats, you know, like literally they're like trampling each other to get outside. And they like, I'm coming in with their food and this is how, I mean, I thought they were going to like attack me because they want their, I mean, they haven't had their food in like at least 2 weeks, I think, something like that, week and a half, 2 weeks. They've had this other food that's made them puke like crazy. He lost weight. Oh, man. That's another story. So I come in, where are the birds? They're up there. He's got a little bit of blood. And I would show you right now. I'll do a recording tomorrow and I'll take pictures, but I've done my healing on him and he said he felt it, I could tell, and he was opening up his eye and he's like, oh, I feel better, but I'm kind of sore or whatever. And so he's supposed to stay in bed or go to sleep. I should stay in bed. He's supposed to go to sleep because he's really tired. He looks stoned. He was just like, plus I did the healing on him too. After that, he was just like, whoa. He's supposed to let me know if he wants me instead of flying to me, which he would normally do. He's supposed to let me know if he wants me, and then I'll go get him. But I think he's just really tired, needs to sleep. But that's it. I took him down. Well, I knew right then when I saw him, and I knew he was okay, and she was like, he's okay. And I'm like losing my last and first and all the in-between any kind of brain cells that I have to try to understand what the hell happened. Because he has like basically the equivalent of like a drop of blood on his side of his head. His eye looks so okay, but he's holding it closed and he's looking just with one eye. But I knew he was okay. So I thought, okay, the best thing for me to do right now is to feed the cats because I know they're starving. And it's been so upsetting to me all day that they've been so hungry. So I'm like, I'm gonna feed the cats all, because as soon as I like saw him, I mean, this all happened like really fast, and I was like, and for 3 of them, when they realized what it was I had, like first they all bum rush me, they run out. I come in like stumbling with this 15-pound bag of food because I don't expect to get bum rushed at the door. I put it down, I look at the birds, and assess the situation, and by that time 3 of the cats come back in, but not baby. So we've got little bear, big boy, and princess all come in, and they're like, what the, like, frickin' feed us, we're starving, and freaked out. But baby won't come in. And I'm like, so immediately I'm thinking, okay, then it was baby, which is like, that is so bizarre. Like if anything, I kind of count on her to also protect the birds. So that's confusing. Oh, and then there's, I threw it away, but somebody gave me a couple of these kind of dark chocolate. I should say, my other next door neighbor, which I miss so much. And there was like maybe half of one left. And all that's left of that is aluminum foil all over my floor right in front of my couch. And immediately I knew that was Rosie. This one. You see her? This one. Really tiny dog who should not be eating friggin' dark chocolate. Right? Yes. So naughty. So I'm like, what the hell is that? What the happened here? But whatever. It's fine. All this is happening like just boom, 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 so fast. None of which I'm expecting in any way, shape, or form. Oh, and I'm like, what? Like, I would expect to see like things knocked over. I have a what is this? A coffee table full of stuff. Can we see that? Ah! Just like, I have well, I think my bong was over in the corner because I moved stuff around, but I have a lot of stuff on that table. Everywhere. There's stuff like I have things on surfaces, and you would think that if something happened that hurt Angel like that. But anyway, so I feed the cats. They're like stuffing their faces into the bowls of food, and I come and I get him, and I want to make sure that his body's okay, that his wings are okay, that everything about him is okay, and everything about him is okay. Obviously, something happened. Oh, and right. The only thing out of place, the only thing on the floor, aside from aluminum foil, is this feather. It's like full on. It's really cool looking. It's like silver all on the edges, and then I'm trying to. hard to show the exact oh, that's like another another little. I don't recognize this feather. It's not obviously not the color of Angel because he's albino. And Ariel doesn't have any feathers this color. I have other feathers that I get obviously all the time, but they're like in stacks and no other feather is anywhere out of place, and there's just this feather, and I don't remember ever seeing a feather or having a feather like this, and it's just like sitting in the middle of the floor. So I'm like, what? And then like I keep trying and baby won't come in. She's just, and the thing is that she's not like I thought she was like trying to stay away from me at first, but she wasn't. She went out there to see what was going on and then to like guard from the outside because she's a guardian. And so I'm like, this is just the weirdest thing. So I have to like get her. It's like the 5th time I'm opening the door, and every time I open the door she's sitting there and she's looking around, but she won't come in. So finally on the 5th time she like all of a sudden is in. Like I didn't even see her come in, and she's like in the middle of the floor, and I'm like, okay, how did you get past me without me seeing it? It was so bizarre. Whatever, she's inside, and then she starts like, she does eat, but after that she is obsessively, like I've never ever seen her. It looked like she was looking for something. And she's looking like over here behind, like on this area here. Which there is, like at first I thought, okay, she's like looking at, maybe like, I couldn't understand like what she was doing, to be honest. I'm like, what are you looking for? What are you looking at? Like this is so, and she's like sniffing, and then she's like climbing up on the couch and she's sniffing, and then she's looking like, she's looking in corners, like she's up in the corner looking and sniffing, and down under here looking and sniffing. And then while she's acting completely like I don't even know what that is, who comes behind her doing the exact same thing? Princess. Just like climbing around. And then they both at their own separate times come all over me and start sniffing me. Like, yeah, but no, but yeah, but no. And then they keep like, and then they say, yeah, some like, it was like a freaky kind of accident where he was flying from, and this happens all the time, like I'll leave and come back and they'll be in a different spot all the time, whether there's cats here or not cats here. So it's not like them flying around is odd, because it's not. I mean, that's the whole point, is that they can fly around. And they do all the time. And but it was like he startled baby, and it was just like a flinchy reaction with a claw. it even feels like there's texture to it that other feathers don't have. That's true. It feels so different than, I mean, I'm constantly touching feathers, but I have so many feathers around. This is kind of ridiculous. I really do. I really do. But that, yeah. An angel did materialize, like, and was here. And it freaked the shit out of my cats. More like, how did he get in and how did he leave? Because she's like checking the perimeter, trying to figure it out. And it also was like, I mean, I wasn't here. I know that that's what happened. This is what I was told when I did my healing on him. Because he did, I mean, he's fine. I think he's more like the rest of them, a little freaked out, to be honest with you. And I think the whole thing just really made everybody tired. Because, you know, like when you go through something really exciting or traumatic or whatever, it, like, you spike in adrenaline and then you crash eventually. And I mean, so yeah, while I was doing the healing on him, and, I was thanking angels for protecting him. I mean, obviously, whatever it was, it could have been worse. He is really fine. I honestly think that baby's more upset about it than he is. On different levels, because one, she did it. Two, there was somebody else here, as somebody that they're not used to seeing, like that anyway. Because I know that they see the angels, but not usually like he was here like in physical form. I know that. Or physical enough. Oh my goodness gracious. And then, like, who knows what exactly happened, but the way that they were, I mean, aside from one time she was like looking in the corner up there, they were focused like in this general area where the couch is, and this is the front of the trailer. And underneath the couch, like she was looking for some trapdoor or something. I shit you not. I was like, how did that happen? Like, Dar's just like really, her and Princess really trying to figure out. For some reason, Little Bear and Big Boy Buck, or I call him a kid. That's more of a goat thing, but not so much. Little Bear was more like, I had nothing to do with that. Which I found Angel literally sitting right in front of Little Bear before, and she's just like staring at him like, and he's like, hey, and they're like this far apart from each other. Okay. Seriously, this feather is so cool. Neato. So yeah, that happened. And I'm sitting here like eating my this is leftovers from Thanksgiving. It's mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes. So good. And I'm just like watching the cats look around, and they're acting so weird. So weird. And then it all starts hitting me. Like, after I was like, okay, everything's fine, everybody's fine. Because at first I was really upset. Like, did I mention that? I was really pissed. I was really, really unhappy that any little minute thing happened. Period. I was really mad and angry and frustrated and guilty, and you name it, I was feeling it, and none of it was positive. And then I was like, okay. Everything's okay. Everything is okay. I don't know what happened here, but everything is okay. Obviously, he's okay. I mean, he's perched up there like... And then it started coming to me. And then watching the cats as I'm sitting here, I'm just like, this is... I need to talk about it. in like real time instead of tomorrow, because I'm like, well, I'll just record something about it tomorrow. And they're like, no, you should just do it now. Okay. So that's it. Oh, update on Big Boy. So I did a healing on him the 21st. Yeah. That makes sense. So it's the 25th. First, so it was, yeah, night of the 21st, I think it was. He had a really badly irritated eye, and it was dripping like crazy, and it was making him, it was his right eye. It was dripping like crazy. It was made like if you opened up his eye, his like third eyelid and all the way around was like a tomato. Super red, drippy. It was like green gooky coming out. He had an eye infection from whatever irritated it, and he was beginning to get an upper respiratory infection from all the dripping. So he was sneezing. He felt like shit, basically, and he looked like shit. It didn't help also that we were out of food, out of his normal food, and he was eating food that was not sitting well with him, and he was throwing up from that. So anyway, I did a healing with him. It was interesting too, because obviously it was in his eye, but I scanned his whole body, and he had what I feel is hot spots, and that's how I know where to untangle the energy. And so obviously his head was hot, especially that side of his head, his ear, his eye, but also in his shoulder. It was really interesting. I was like, what's up with this in your shoulder? And he was, yeah, that was interesting. So it was the 2 spots that he had. And the thing in the shoulder was contributing to his eye, believe it or not, because it's the flow of energy. And there's a meridian there, and it goes up, obviously neck, head, eye. Makes sense. But it surprised me. And so anyway, worked on both of them. And are you okay? And then he also slept with me, but I mean, that's, being near me is definitely helpful, energetically, but it wasn't like the whole time it was, actively working, but it still works. So the next morning he felt much better. His eye looked much better. He was still drippy, but the green gookiness was totally gone. It wasn't as swollen. He wasn't sneezing as much. Because he was sneezing. It got to a point where he was almost constantly, not constantly, but close, like he was sneezing a decent amount. And he slept. What was interesting is that the way he was sneezing before I did the healing, and then the way he was sneezing afterwards were 2 totally different types of sneezes. That he started sneezing, which is also pretty common, I think, depending on what's going on with like a cleansing or clearing or healing, whatever you want to call it, what I do. But it's also like a release. And so I encourage, whether it's an animal or an adult, if they feel the urge to sneeze, even, afterwards, a lot, to do that. Really any spontaneous bodily thing that comes up is a release. So it's helpful. Are you okay? Come here. Come. Oh, not on the dog. Do you realize you just jumped on the dog? I mean the cat. You okay? She was sleeping. You just jumped on top of it. Did you realize that? Rosie's right here now. Say hi. I'm Rosie. I'm a little shit. Let me know if I can come live with you. Because Mom, this dog, let me tell you, she is a piece. You okay? Where was I? Oh yeah, any kind of spontaneous bodily thing is really good because it helps free up the energy flow. So, so the next day he slept a lot, and there's a couple times that I was checking on him, but I didn't do like a full on, like he didn't really need it. I was like, we'll see how you do. And then by the third day, which was maybe, it wasn't really 3 days, but there's more like 36 hours, that sort of thing. Well, I did get eye wash from my friend, but we're very telepathic with each other, so he knew that I intended to do that, and he stayed away from me like all day. And then when I did see him, he was sleeping, and I'm not about to wake him up to squirt shit in his eye. I'm just not going to do it. If he's sleeping, he's comfortable. And so it wasn't until the next morning so this is the second morning after the healing, that I was like, okay, before I let him out, I'm gonna and his eye looked almost totally normal at this point, and I thought, but just for good measure, I'm just gonna wash it out. It doesn't sting at all. It's just sterile saline solution. It's nothing that's gonna, it's no medication kind of thing. It's just a wash, which is what I wanted to do originally, but I was like, oh yeah, I could do a healing, see if that works. And it did. So he's totally fine now. He looks perfectly fine. He's not sneezing, no more drippy eye, no more goopy eye, no more red eye. It's totally, totally perfect. So, it's still so weird to me that I can do that I can heal. Blows me away. I am so grateful that I can do it, especially for my pets. Like, it's been twice that I've healed Princess from major upset stomachs, either from not being able to hold anything down, from eating something, to that and diarrhea. Those were like instant fixes. Twice with Little Bear. Both last times that I moved, she ended up getting the sniffles, is what I called it, because she would just sniffle and sneeze, and I got rid of that pretty much instantly. This eye thing took a little bit longer because he had a full-blown eye infection and an upper respiratory infection. So I think a 36-hour turnaround to get better with no medication whatsoever, no regular doctor visit at all, is pretty good. Pretty good. And completely painless. Well, he didn't like the eye wash. He was not happy. But I'm like, would you stop? He's like, Meh! Like crying through the whole thing and just stressing out the other cats because I didn't let anybody out. And I'm like, would you just please does it hurt at all? Does this hurt? He's like, no. I'm like, then can we please stop with the drama and just let me clean it out? And then he was like, fine. And I could like full on hold it open, like squirt in there. And he was just like, we just make this fast. He's totally quiet after that. Like, you're just being such a friggin' baby. It was really funny. I'm like, look, you're all better. normally it would be trip to the vet, eye stain, medications, probably 2 or 3 different eye drops, which of course then he would avoid the shit out of me, and it would be torture for what, 7 to 10 days of eye drops to hopefully fix the problem. I literally laid my hands on my cat and fixed him. And tonight made my bird feel better. He was like, it was funny because I just will, in certain situations, I'll just keep my hands there and just keep feeding it and giving it energy, and if it's a pain thing, whatever. And in that situation, he was like, okay, I'm good. Like, he was like, okay, because it can be pretty intense, I think, on the receiving end with the vibes, the energy. I only know what it feels like for me, obviously, but I know that it is intense, and I know that it is tingly and vibrational and all that kind of stuff. So he's like, oh, and he's like moving his eye, and he's like, oh yeah, much better. Thank you. I'm like, seriously? And then also the angels said, like, collectively, we're sorry that he got hurt. I'm like, seriously? Alright, so that's it. I had to put my hands on my dog since she ate some dark chocolate, and I think she's got a stomach ache. I will see you guys later. Bye. Peace, love. Be good.